speaking. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
All right. Hi, everybody. Hold on. Hi, everybody. It's me, Lee April. I just got finished watching and editing a video, a interview with PAllen Jones, and I must say this before putting it out that she was one of them. She's a spectacular woman. She suffers from sickle cell SC, and she has dealt with more than one kind of pain in her life. But yet she still finds a way to remain positive and keep this mindset that is resilient and focused on how she could do better and forgiving, one of forgiveness. She has worked hard to make sure that she is not going to be in pain as much as possible. And that is so important for you. It's so important that you're not in a lot of pain. There's things that you can do. There's mindsets that you can adopt. And this is one of the reasons why I've created this podcast, so that you can see for yourself. Many mature adults have made it to a very good age, and they're living a life of good. They have children, they have families, and they're doing things that are beneficial in the community, or they have. And so I want you to pay close attention to what she says and take heed. And if you need support with that, you know I'm here. You can reach me at leeapril.b@composedwarriors.com, and I will be glad to help you with whatever needs you may have. I am a resource, but I am also an ally. Okay, you guys have a great day and enjoy the podcast. Bye. All right. Well, Miss Pamela, thank you so much for being here. I sure appreciate you volunteering yourself and
Yes.
sharing with us your story about chronic pain.
Yes.
So let's learn a little bit about you, Pamela. Your hobbies, tell your name, if you have any children, are you married? Tell us a little, help us get to know you better.
Okay. My name is PAllen Jones, and I have a husband, and I have 2 children, and I have 6 grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the joys of my life. My hobbies are gardening and resting, and that's what I need to do every single day is rest, and I pace myself with rest. So.
Very good. So why resting? What is it how does resting help you?
Well, it makes me pace myself because I have a 40-acre ranch, and so there's a lot to do, but I have to pace myself with what I do, and because my husband pays the price when I'm not well, so he's my primary caregiver, and so I pace myself for him as well as myself.
Very good. Now that's really loving that you think about him.
Yeah.
Has it always been that way?
Yes, absolutely. He's always with me in the hospital. He sleeps in the hospital with me. He's probably my biggest advocate, my biggest cheerleader. So I thank God for him.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I do tell him I said hurrah.
I will.
That's it's so hard. I know there's this big advocacy push right now, especially in the sickle cell community. I know you haven't told us what you suffer from, but there is this big advocacy push in the sickle cell community, and there's a lot of information coming out about it and ways of supporting those with it. And so it's really nice you've already had that the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so blessed.
Absolutely. I agree with you. So what was like for you growing up, like before marriage? Was it a challenge? Were you in, I guess what I'm asking is, did you feel like this is what life is? I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have those times back then where, I would feel sorry for myself. I would try to do too much. And as I was young, it was to my detriment that I would go rip and run and try to do everything that the other kids did. And I would get depressed and things like that because, everybody wasn't dealing with sickle cell. My friends weren't dealing with sickle cell. I didn't know anyone who had sickle cell. So that was my world. Well, I take it back. I got to a hospital where they, identified that sickle cell was real. And so I had doctors who understood, who treated me, but just in general in life, I felt very alone.
Wow. So did things change when you met him? What is it that changed that mentality for you? Well, first of all, let's talk about what it is you suffer from.
I have SC, sickle cell disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a hip replacement? Any major surgeries or anything with it?
Yes, I had 2 hip replacements, actually 3. One got infected, but everything is good right now.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, everything is good.
Wow, that is really something.
Yeah.
Something that I'm starting to see in the sickle cell community, and I don't know how true this is, so don't quote me on it, but it seems as if individuals with SC are ones who usually have replacements and stuff. Okay. But those with SS tend to have the more ACS, the more internal things. I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's just an observation.
Yeah. I didn't notice anything different about, the disease. I know SS is more severe. And so I would assume that they have more internal issues, but I haven't, recognized that SC is different.
Yeah. So they say SS is severe, but everybody, it's the way we take care of ourselves, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to take really good care of yourself. What do you do?
Oh my goodness. Well, I do. I drink a lot of water. I am like over with water. I mean, that's my life's blood, is to not, get sick. So I do a lot of prevention. I do a lot of meditating. I do herbs, vitamins. I do all the preventive things that I need to do to rest, all of that prevention. It's all about preventing getting sick, because when you get sick, then it's all bad. But I try to prevent to get sick even still before. Yeah.
So what made you draw to that conclusion? Because I think I don't know if it's because some of these children, well, I'm going to speak about my child right now. Okay. Because he's not somebody that usually, he's working on it. Let's put it that way. He's 20 years old. And he hasn't always thought about the prevention. So mom, mom has, let's try to prevent this from happening. He's like, okay, let's do it. But the next thing I know, he going swimming, or he's, doing something he usually, or running at full speed, trying to keep up with the other kids. And like, let's try this. So you have to learn that, maybe, would you say?
I would say you have to learn it. And When my daughter was younger, she didn't learn it, and as she did she has SC also.
Where is she?
Yeah. She learned the hard way about, burning the candle on both ends, and it's about learning how to live and manage with this disease. So it's about maturity. When you get mature, you say, okay, I can't do this and I can't do that. So it's about learning how you function, how your body functions, and then preventing what you can't do and can do. So it's about learning everything. It's just learning the process.
The process, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So when you were a young child, was your mom telling you to slow down, or did she put any boundaries on you? Or
no, I had no boundaries. I was raised by a woman who did not understand sickle cell. Okay. And even though I inherited one cell from her and one cell from my father, they didn't understand sickle cell, but so they didn't do any preventive things. They pretty much abused me and all the things that you shouldn't do. That happened to me. So I can't blame my parents, but I recognize, because they didn't know that this condition was that bad. I don't blame them, but I recognize that they were ignorant and that they didn't know any better. So I don't hold them account for anything. It's just I had to learn myself what I could do, my limitations, and correct them.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I just want to take a moment to applaud you for that, because I if I was to ever put yourself in my shoes and be the one whose parents did not know how to take care of me, mm-hmm. and then I'm just left to my own device, mm-hmm. and trying to figure things out. I think a lot of us would feel very frustrated and angry with mm-hmm. our parents, and probably up to this day, but you saw past that.
Yeah.
You saw past that, and that is beautiful on your part. And I think that's why you're doing so well, because your heart feels like it's full of love and
yes,
and enjoyment for the good things. And I just love that. And I also want to applaud your husband.
Yes.
He doesn't have sickle cell at all. He just has the trait, right?
No. He has thalassemia, but it doesn't really affect him. Sickle cell is very new for him, and for him to be in the hospital with me and going through everything that I've gone through with him, he's my hero. Absolutely, he's my hero.
Oh my goodness! So he has thalassemia.
He has thalassemia, yes.
Wow.
Which is a blood disorder, but doesn't have sickle cell. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, that's something to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But your daughter has the SC.
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting, because she got it. Well, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But just having to deal with, not deal with, but support the both of you in such a way to make sure that you're going to be okay. So those challenges, even as a parent, how do you instruct your daughter now?
Well, as a parent, I pretty much, was with her as well, in hospital stays, all of that. And I, because she was young, she was, living large. And and she had to learn that large life has to be paid for. So she has pretty much done a lot done everything that she could do, and then she's she's married, she has children, so she's learning how to live with sickle cell.
Wow, yeah, it's a process, like you said, but I
Mhm.
love what you said. A large life has to be paid for.
Yes.
What we put into it, we're actually paying for that, and so we're going to get what we put in, basically.
Right.
Well, you talked about your husband being your support system. Is there
Mhm.
something that's you said he's your hero? Is there something that comes to mind that just really identifies him as hero to you? An experience that you all have been through, probably multiple.
Well, I'll say the hip replacement, because the first one got infected, and he was right there championing me with my healing. He surrounded me with people to help me and assist me, and so the first hip replacement was probably the hardest
Yeah.
challenge for him, because this is all new. You know, literally, he's living with someone who limped for years, and then I decided to have the hip replacement, and then it got infected, and so it was all new for him, and so that was my challenge, or his challenge, that he stood by me and literally gave me encouragement, hope, and we pray together all the time. So he turns out to be my best champion in my life.
I love that. I love it. So let me ask you this: were during the time that you were going through your hip surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and he was bringing people around, was that
Mm-hmm.
something that you wanted, or were you like, thank you, honey, thank you? Or were you like, oh, I don't want to see nobody right now. I don't feel good. It's just, I don't want to look at it. What was that like for you?
Well, when you're down, you need help.
That's true.
And I needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, it was hard for me to accept help.
Mm-hmm.
So I thanked the help that I got, friends coming, showering me. I mean, it was so embarrassing, but I had to accept help. And he championed me to have that help, and I accepted it, and thankfully, I accepted help, because I was proud, and I'm usually, I don't really accept help, but I needed help. So it was so good. It was so good.
I'm glad he went ahead and took the time to make sure that he brought you, because he could have just left people there, and you finally realized that you did need that. And
yes,
that's what we have to really think about when we're helping somebody living with sickle cell. Even if they isolate themselves, or if they feel like things are not supposed to be this way, I should be up and doing things for my house or doing things for myself, and I can't because of this, that, and the other. No, sometimes we just need the help.
yes,
and accepting it is a very humbling thing, it sounds.
yes. Yeah. And that was hard for me, because I'm a proud person, and I want to do everything and do as much as I can, but I have to pace myself. So I'm learning how to pace myself. Right. So that's about learning, how to live with sickle cell.
Right. You have some invaluable information.
Thank you.
You have some invaluable information, because I think, I mean, for anybody that's lived a life, I mean, you're a grown woman, and you've lived your life already with this disorder, and you're still here. You went through many trials, I'm sure. If you count in a lifetime how many times you've been in the hospital?
Oh my goodness.
What kind of question is that, huh?
I would say probably maybe 50.
Wow.
Maybe 50. Maybe 50.
So what was it like in the hospitals for you? Was it always good, or was it some tough treatment? Did that carry with you?
I think I wrote in my book, I Only Cry at Night. There was one.
Oh, you have a book?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
You have a book?
I have a book. Absolutely.
Your book, please. It's called I Only Cry at Night.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Where can we get that book from?
Amazon. That's it. Yes.
PAllen Jones, I'm gonna get you. You're so quiet. You are so quiet about it. So how many purchases have you had already?
Oh, I mean, they're still purchasing. I get various Amazon deposits periodically every month. So wow. It's still selling. It's still selling.
Goodness. I'm definitely going to get one.
Okay. All right.
Is there a part in there that you'd like to share with us? Maybe just a quick read. I'll just put you on the spot.
Oh my goodness.
If not, that's fine. But I'm just like, maybe there's a part you can read for us to give us a tidbit so that we can be like, oh, I got to get that book.
Well, let me start with why I forgave my parents. Okay.
Awesome. Okay.
I remember the day I forgave my mother. It was on her 70th birthday. Grace and I had taken her to a fine restaurant for dinner. So she was so accustomed to living and eating like a poor woman, she was uncomfortable as we approached the seaside restaurant. Marina del Rey was an upscale beach community in Los Angeles with relaxed, trendy restaurants of every kind. We drove into the driveway. Parking attendants rushed to open our doors. My mother was distraught. "This is too expensive," she said. While climbing out of the car, Grace and I winked at her as we ushered her into the dimly lit place. My mother wore a glittery rainbow hat on top of her head, personally directed with colored stone and placed in too many places. My eyesight is so crazy. So
is it really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it sounds. Gosh, it definitely whets the appetite.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that whole point right there, where you said the reason why I forgave my mother.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some time when you hadn't. I mean,
well,
maybe
when I was a
point, and then
when I was a child, I didn't understand why she was mistreating me, mm-hmm. and I didn't understand her lack of love. You know, mm-hmm. I didn't understand her, so I had to learn how to understand her. And over the course of our life, I would talk to her every Sunday and get to know her. And the more I got to know her, the more I understood how damaged she was. And, you know, hurt people hurt people. And so I understood her damage. And so I chose to forgive her because that was my choice.
Okay.
And that's what I chose to do.
Mm-hmm. I just find that to be so insightful. I'm not surprised that you feel that way, but it is really insightful that, you know, you realize hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
You know, that could have been a cycle, right?
That could have been a cycle. Absolutely. I'm not the best mother for my daughter, but still, I learned to be more open and loving and kind to her. So the cycle did not end with my mother, but it started with me to be a better mom. And I'm still not the best mom. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, but it's nowhere near what I dealt with.
Well, I bet you're the best mom to her.
Thank you.
I bet that's the case. And even if she doesn't say it, I know for a fact that you are the best. I mean, I can't imagine it being anything else.
Thank you.
So what affects your pain?
What affects my pain? Stress. And I limit my stress. I limit my physical stress and my mental stress. Stress is a big trigger for me, and that's the thing I had to learn is the triggers in my life. Stress is a trigger. I just had to learn, the limitations. Stress is definitely a trigger. I mean, that was what I had to do, is just learn what triggers me and just limit the stress in my life.
So that requires some internal work then.
Yes. It requires peace, and that's what I have. Peace on my top of my bedroom door is peace. I want peace, and I thrive in peace, and that makes me happy, is that peace.
Wow. It should. What so your book is, do you only have one book, or are there many other books? It's just that one?
No, that's just one.
How long did it take for you to write it? Like, what inspired you to write it? Your inspiration?
Yeah, I wrote it because I was hearing there were no voices with people living with sickle cell. And I saw various people with clinical voices, but not how you live it, how you survive it, how you thrive with it. So it took me probably 2 years to write it. Maybe the last year was just editing, and that's it. And that was inspired with, my life is I only cry at night.
Man, what does that mean?
Well, when I would be crying, or when I would be in pain, I would cry at night. And a doctor told me that was probably the best title of the book, because at night you are alone, and sickle cell is the loudest, and the pain is more prevalent. And so, I mean, that was the only choice of the book, is I only cry at night, because at night I would be so in pain, and no one could help me, and my mom couldn't help me. My father couldn't help me. Nobody could help me with my pain, because it was so deep. And that's the truth.
That's man, I have no words, but I feel it all in my heart right now. I feel it, and I can only, just being able to express it. I hope that everybody listening to this goes out and purchases this book, because a lot of people, they'll ask questions, or they'll listen to certain things, and they may not get all the facts, but to hear it firsthand is and to have access to it in your own home I think is better than anything, because we could turn off a video on YouTube. We can leave a someone talking, we can leave that. But if you have the book in your home, you can pick it up when you're ready. Pick up where you left off it. And these are your words on that page.
Yeah.
Boy, I am just really impressed. I didn't know you had a book.
Yeah.
I will definitely continue to tell folks about it. So maybe after this, I would love to promote you and put you on my website, or so I'll figure out something how I'm working on some things right now, but I definitely want folks to know about sickle cell and to hear it firsthand. And here you are. Man, I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. I wonder if, I just have a lot of thoughts now running through my mind. Yeah. You tripped me up, Miss Jones. You tripped me up because, wow. When did you write this book? When was it written?
2011. 2011.
It's been around for some time.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, would you be willing to speak to others again?
Absolutely.
Okay. Had you spoken to the group with the sickle cell group out here in Bakersfield? Have you spoken to them?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I think, man, I really think that's why I'm creating this platform, because I feel like so many have come to this place in their life where they feel like, I have nowhere to go. Nobody understands me. I have to sit in my own box and just be here by myself. And they get that down feeling, and they're feeling like, okay, well, no one really understands. So I might as well just do whatever I want, or just not really care.
Right.
But to know that they're not alone, and to hear your story and to hear many other people's story, I think is priceless. Because you mentioned yourself that you felt alone. And then you also mentioned how you were treated. I mean, how many other people are going through similar things? Their parents don't understand. They're frustrated, so they probably mistreat their children too. Who knows how it goes on? Or maybe they have parents there who really do love them, and they don't realize what they have.
Right.
So there's so many different perspectives that people can take from this. And this is why I wanted to provide this for them. So not only that, but to give a place of healing for those like yourself who need to express that and say, hey, this is what I'm going through. I need someone who hears me, who understands, who can support me. And if this is here, then I'm just excited to hear your story. I'm excited to see what else is coming, because I am just super impressed with you.
Thank you.
I am so impressed with you. Your husband, I'm impressed with him, and just the support. You brag about your Superman, and I just I just love it. I just love that. So are there any words of wisdom that you would provide for caregivers, families who live with sickle cell, and those who actually have the disorder itself?
I would say you have to trust God, and you have to believe that He can and He will help you. And I would think that's universal, where trust God and leave all of the consequences, the how and what and when and where and all of that, leave it to His wisdom, because He knows the best. He knows the best. And literally, that's what I would, words of wisdom that I would share with everyone, is that trust God and leave all the consequences to Him, because He knows what's best.
Amen. I thank you for that. Well, Miss Jones, I know we didn't hit on all the questions, but I just wanted to be present here with you and hear your story. Because I could come up with questions all day long, but they may not really, draw out the situation. And if you want to do this again, we definitely can. If you have anything that you would like to let me know when you're do you do it, like, do you have a job, or are you currently employed, or are you
No, I'm retired.
Are you retired? What did you used to do? I was gonna
I worked at NASA, and I was a contracting officer. So so yeah, that's what I used to do. I was forced to retire. And that's why I wrote the book, because I was forced to retire. I didn't know what else to do.
See, so I'm just, you're full of surprises. We'll be back to interview you for part 2. Because I'm going to have to come up with some very specific questions for you, because you be holding stuff in and we have to dig it out of you. You're not sharing it. And that's okay, because I feel like that's humble. I mean, nobody wants to walk around bragging like, oh, I did this and oh, I did that. But wow, you worked at NASA and you were contracting officer, you think?
Contracting officer.
Yeah. So what do they do?
They buy things for the procurement stuff for NASA, and I was at JPL, so I bought rocket ships and things like that.
Wow. How does somebody get into NASA?
They take a test.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
After high school, or what?
Yeah, after high school, you go to college, and then you take a test and a federal exam, and then you get called for, they have various positions. So I went up the ranks from starting at a secretary and went looked around and who had the best job, and so contracting officer was it, and so I moved up.
Put your mind to it and was like, okay, let me watch.
Right.
You were literally watching what they were doing so you could be able to work that job, huh?
Right, exactly.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't even know what to say. So is that something that you are most proud of?
That is one of the things that I'm most proud of. And the other thing is the book.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, we are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us and allowing your words to heal somebody else and even help them. Because I feel like once this goes live, so people are going to listen to this. It's on YouTube. And they're going to hear it, and they may even reach out to you. So how could someone get in contact with you if they wanted to speak with you further?
p.allenjones@yahoo.com. That's my email address. And I'm Twitter, PJONES. That's Twitter. And Facebook, I have a Facebook, PAllen Jones.
Okay. Very good. So I guess we'll end right here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you really? I appreciate you too. I'm glad you were able to come and share the story and just give your time. Because it does make a difference, I'm sure.
Yes.
So hopefully some folks out here will catch wind of this, because I'm really trying. We're working on makers.
Yes, I know. And you're doing a wonderful job with the aromatherapy. That is it's so good. I had frankincense. You sent me that frankincense. And eucalyptus is also one of my favorites.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad.
Thank you.
You let me know what I can do for you in the future, and I'll be glad to to create a blend for you, because I do. That is a specialty of mine, but I really like being able to connect with the people and talk to them, see their faces, see what's going on with them, because that's how you can tell if something's, going on behind the scenes. So yeah, I've learned that's something that I'm working on, and I just love people, and I don't want to see anybody in pain.
Yes.
Even if I'm in pain, I don't want to see anybody. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve it. But if that's what your lot in life is, then you shouldn't feel alone.
Yeah. So. And I can say that your son is blessed to have you. And, really it's a blessing to have a mom who cares. And so he should be blessed and thankful and grateful that he has a mom who cares.
Thank you so much. I sure appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll make sure he watches this.
Okay.
We'll end right here. And if you need anything, reach out to me. You have my email, you have my information, and then I'll be sure to put all the information in. Actually, on this video, I'll add subtitles and everything, and people will be able to reach you if they're interested in reaching out to you. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, you take care.
Have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.